SMYN News! Alright, so now let's talk about some Sony questions, and joining us from Senshudo TV is Sam, or also known as Squallmutza. Welcome, Sam.
Hey, good to be with you guys. Yeah, call me whatever you want. I don't take offense too easily.
Sam's good.
Well, Dick, that'll be fine.
Yeah, you know.
Yay!
Well, welcome, and I'm told by Rachel that you, as through connections with Senshudo TV, you get to go to E3 this year.
Yeah, I mean the tenuous connection of part owning, but, yeah. So we'll be heading along for. I'm actually jetting off on Thursday to head over to kind of prep for it all. But yeah, E3 show floor first time round, so I'm kind of absolutely wetting myself because
You'll be fine.
It's very cool. I got to go in 2010, so it was quite some time ago. But it's just a lot of lights, a lot of noise. It's very exciting, and it's just a really cool opportunity. So we'll be talking some of these questions about Sony, and it's actually starting right off with something that you may be interested in. The first question is, will we learn the final name for Project Morpheus?
Yeah, I reckon we will. It's gotten to the point now where it's going to be entering the market and everything's going to be kind of tied to it. It's about time for an official launch. One thing that I can probably let slip a little is that Sony's been very close-mouthed about their on-floor stuff. Mm-hmm. We've had next to no details. Arrangements for interviews, stuff like that, have been really, really heavily restricted. It leads me to believe that they've got something really big for the show floor, that they're, all singing, all dancing, fireworks, the whole kit and caboodle. So that is kind of the only thing that I can realistically imagine it being. So, yeah, I reckon it's time.
That's really interesting to think that, they keep those things under wraps. And we've seen some things like how on E3 show floor, they have listings of different games, and we can guess certain games. There's one game that's it's a fighting or wrestling game for PlayStation 4. It's well, that's Street Fighter 5. I wonder what that could be.
Yeah,
But when certain things are under wraps like that, I think this is when they need to really come out with here are some of the games. This is what the final name is going to be. I'm not entirely sure we'll get the release date or the release price yet, and that would be interesting to get for sure. But I think we need to get away from calling it Project Morpheus, just like we need to get away from Project Natal, and Connect really never took off the same way, but
yeah.
Do we have any guesses on what the name might be?
I don't think they're going to change too far from the current name. I have a feeling that they're going to somehow retain the Morpheus moniker in some way, shape, or form. I know that it's kind of breaking from their tradition to some extent. Nothing at all has been leaked out about possible real launch names, or not that I've seen anyway. And typically you expect it to. You expect to see, there's this document that someone threw out, and we went through the tip, managed to find it.
I took a picture of it really fast, but I had to roll past a window, and that's why it's so blurry.
That's it. Drive-by games journalism paparazzi business, right? But we've had none of that at all, and I think they may actually maintain or retain rather some part of it. But that's just a kind of wild guess, wild stab in the dark, I think.
I think Morpheus is a cool name, so I'd be pretty okay if they did do that. I almost wonder if they do something like PlayStation Eyes, and they spell it really strangely. They had PlayStation View, which is their new TV sort of initiative where kind of pick certain channels and stream it through your TV, but it's spelled then VUE, so it's just okay, fine. I wonder if maybe PlayStation Eyes or something like that. That'd be possible, or if even if they just do PlayStation VR.
Yeah, go really wild and out there, right?
Yeah. It's pretty clear to the point what it is.
I'm a big fan of PlayStation Face. Let's just call it that.
Yeah, PlayStation Face sounds good. But I actually said no.
Ooh, interesting.
But again, I said yes to the next question, so I kind of contradicted myself like a dumbass. Because I was like, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just going to throw a no in here because I'm not fucking psychic.
Joe and Ben, you said no as well.
I was not aware that they are hoping for sort of early first half release of 2016 for this Project Morpheus. Now that I know that, it would make sense that this would be the E3 to announce it at.
My logic actually goes, it's stupid, but for me this led to a no, and maybe you'd count it, maybe you wouldn't, I don't know. But I said no because, what you guys were saying earlier, I don't think it's going to change. I think Morpheus is going to be the final name.
Interesting.
I think we already know the final name of Project Morpheus.
71% say that we'll be given the final name for Project Morpheus. Well, let's keep talking Morpheus, though. Will one of the following games have Project Morpheus functionality announced? No Man's Sky, The Witness, or Adrift?
I reckon No Man's Sky is going to be their sort of semi-flagship, oh look, we've added it onto this game sort of thing. A bit like you had like Heavy Rain with the PlayStation Move. Like, I think it's going to be like their, oh, look at all the things it can do. Look, it's so accurate. I reckon they're going to run with that. The Witness or Drift, I'm not sure. I mean, it could have it tacked onto, but I reckon, you know, there's so much riding on No Man's Sky already. There's so much hype behind it. If they're going to be launching Project Morpheus anytime soon, they'd be kind of crazy not to package that in together. Well, not package it directly in together, but to include that as their big name for the new product.
Yeah, I think No Man's Sky is a perfect candidate for something like that. It almost just begs for it, especially when you're going in the spaceship and you're shooting down asteroids and then landing on planets. It sounds perfect for it. I think The Witness is probably going to be coming out this summer, so maybe you get like a later update if it's going to have Morpheus compatibility for that spring 2016. And yeah, Adrift is another one where we heard about it at the last the Game Awards in December. And it's like that Gravity-like game where you're in space and, you know, you're losing oxygen and you're floating weightless and all that. So that really seems like an experience that could be really good for Morpheus or VR overall.
That would cause a lot of panic attacks.
It sure would. But that's part of the experience, though. It's, you know, what people are looking to do.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, I don't know how much you guys have used the VR stuff, but if there's a slightly creepy moment in a game, you're almost guaranteed to get a panic attack. Like, they are surprisingly immersive.
Nice.
Basically, every time you play it, you should probably be sitting on some kind of toilet facility.
Yeah, you know, some kind of paper bag to hand. You know, I mean, for the breathing, clearly.
Yes, of course you do.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, like, even like stuff with like fairly naff graphics, but still like that sort of tension horror thing. Oh, it's terrifying. It really is. So yeah, stuff where you're kind of immersed in a sort of life or death situation like Drift. Yeah, that would work.
So yeah, I said yes on this one.
I put no. I don't have a good reason.
This one, and I actually just contradicted myself from the last question. So.
To argue devil's advocate for no, I mean, you're going to have Sony London probably making a lot of games for Morpheus. And, I mean, I don't know if you'll necessarily have the games already announced and say, yep, we're supporting it. Maybe for the first run of games, you're going to get some of these really simple, basic games. Almost like the first run of Move games, which were very party organized. But, I guess that was almost taking off the Wii as well because they thought, hey, that was successful. This certainly will be as well. So it's going to be interesting to see really how that develops. And I just hope they don't spend too much time on Morpheus at Sony's conference because you have to think, like, what's the best way to show VR games?
If anything's going to get VR support, I do agree that it will be No Man's Sky. I don't even think The Witness is high enough profile to really... That, and part of me wants to say that Jonathan Blow wouldn't really jump on board with that all that quickly. I feel like he's going to want to get The Witness, the regular game, done first before throwing VR support on it.
Right.
Adrift, maybe, but I also don't think that's really all that high enough profile for them to say, like, all right, we're going to throw money behind putting this on Morpheus too. But No Man's Sky, I could definitely see that being a possibility because that game has kind of shot into being extremely high profile.
Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me at all if PlayStation has said, like, oh, you have a very small team. We're going to help you get this running on our platform for Morpheus. We're just going to give you developers, make your team bigger, but we'll make it a console exclusive.
Like, that's not to say I don't think any of these games will have Morpheus functionality. I just don't think they're going to announce it this year.
Right. We had 76% say yes, that one of those games will have that functionality announced. Now going on the handheld side of things, will a new model of PlayStation Vita be announced?
I doubt it. They just seem to have sort of slowly cranked it down and down and down and down on the side of the Vita. It's not been the most wildly successful thing in the history of the world ever. I've not heard much from Sony on the side of the Vita for such a long time, and they don't really seem to almost have any passion left for it. It's just kind of like this unwanted child that they've still got attached to them somehow. They're just forced to pay for it to get through college, and then they're going to kick it out on its own. I don't know.
Wonderful description of the Vita. I like that.
That's fantastic.
Makes me so sad.
I know. It's upsetting. Like, there's going to be like charity appeals for it and everything, but I just don't see it. I think they've just given up. They're going to take it around the back of the barn and shoot it soon, and that's kind of that.
Yeah, there's a rumor that a price cut is coming for the Vita, and it might even go down to like $89.99 US dollars.
That's a death knell, isn't it?
It is. It really is. That's like more than a 50% cut, which is strange because, I mean, Ben, feel free to agree with me. I own a Vita. I love using it. And it has great games, but it never caught on the AAA support, and it's almost like a machine for porting indies, or it has some semblance of success over in Japan, but yeah.
Oh, they seem to love it over there.
Yeah.
For me, it's my portable JRPG machine.
Yes.
That's all it is. I love it, but yeah, not a whole lot of games.
I love using it, but it's I realize I'm certainly in a small minority of those who own it. So yeah, I don't think a new model comes out, but I think it gets a heavy price cut.
Yeah, and like to add on to that as well, like the majority of the games that tend to get produced for the Vita are kind of Japan exclusive, very Easternized titles. Kind of your incredibly stereotypical kawaii as hell character based stuff.
We need more of that.
I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but it's always Japan exclusive because they're too scared to port it to the West world because they think they'll sell about 6 copies, which is probably completely untrue. But because
they'll sell 7.
Yeah, at least maybe 8.
Let's not get crazy here.
Yeah, but I don't know. Some of them might do okay, but they've just kind of limited themselves a little bit in that way. Well, maybe not limited themselves, but they've had that limitation thrust upon them. That just kind of makes people in the West shy off of actually picking one up and using it properly.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking of actually a conversation we've been having recently about with them bringing out a new kind of Vita. And I would kind of like them to do that because I just want them to. I think that they really need to catch up with the handheld market. To be fair, Nintendo owns the handheld market.
Yeah.
In my eyes. They fucking own it. No one else does. No one else has a goddamn chance. But I'd like to see them at least try with something. So, Sony, you're probably not going to do it, but do it, please.
If they do, they got to lower the memory card prices. That's really what ended up killing the Vita.
Or just don't make it so it has to be a bloody proprietary card.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
These cheap off ones. God damn it.
Give it SD card support. Absolutely.
The 3DS has SD card support, Sony.
and that's from Nintendo.
I mean, come on.
They won't let you greet them with the correct name unless you've paid a licensing fee. Come on now.
9.5% of people said yes, there'll be a new model of Vita. So that's a slim chance, according to our community.
Oh boy.
Let's get to Uncharted talk, though. Will a collection of Uncharted games be announced for PlayStation 4? It already happened.
Yeah, I'm reasonably certain on that one.
Yeah? It might be called Uncharted, the Nathan Drake Collection. Might come out October 9th, have the first 3 games.
These are some pretty bold claims that you need to back off from.
And here's the kicker. Uncharted 4 multiplayer beta. Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of a long time coming, really, though, wasn't it? Like, they kind of need to slap them all together in a bundle to make people buy them again.
Yeah, especially with so many people coming to PlayStation 4 after not necessarily owning a Sony machine before. Definitely a way to get it in, especially after the delay for Uncharted 4. Yeah, it was one of those.
If they were gonna remaster The Last of Us the year after it fucking came out, they better have had plans to remaster the Uncharted series too.
Yeah.
for me, like I went from PS2 to Xbox 360 to PS4 because the PS3 just had so many issues when it first came out, and I was just like, nope, not going to touch it. Funnily enough, I now have a PS3 because I want all the JRPGs, but that's another thing altogether.
That's another story.
But because of that, I kind of skipped out the whole Uncharted thing. So, like, now that there's a bundle, yeah, I'll probably be one of the suckers that goes, all right, you can have my money. I'll play all three of them in one spot. Why not?
I've played them all. I'm getting this, 1080p, 60 frames per second. The photo mode from The Last of Us remastered bundle, where you can click the right stick at any time and it freezes the game, so you can go around and take pictures and all that. Like, I'm excited. They're great games. Definitely pick it up, I say. Mm-hmm. We had 81% of people say yes to this collection, but these questions were made on May 16th, so...
Yeah, at least I'm getting one right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Will we see a gameplay demo for Uncharted 4: A Thief's End?
Yeah, I put a proviso on this. I reckon trailer, but not an in-game thing. It's either going to be kind of... in-engine, in extremely inverted commas, because in-engine doesn't really mean anything.
Right.
Or like some kind of flashy video compilation sort of thing. But I don't think, considering delays and all that sort of stuff, I don't think they'll have the confidence to put out an in-game sort of thing.
Well, considering last time they did, Drake fell through the fucking world.
That was great.
Very good game. A live gameplay demo.
So good.
Yeah, I doubt they're really that keen for a repeat. So yeah, I reckon it's just going to be some kind of like heavily crafted, video footage where, every bead of sweat has the perfect reflection in it or something like that. Other than that, they're just not going to have the heart to do it, I don't think.
See,
I hope
I
reflective
said yes.
beads of sweat are a big part of the game.
I said yes because they should redeem themselves from the last time they did a live demo because of him falling off of the earth and through the earth and into nothing. I remember watching that live at the time, and I was like, oh.
Oh, that was incredible. I've never seen that happen. I mean, I'm sure it's happened, but I've never been watching it live when it happened.
I mean, you guys make a big deal of that, though, but that demo was amazing.
Oh,
it was after he fell through the world. You're right.
I think this is how they open the show, and they just go out there with a bang and show that we have a firm date for 2016. I think they've said in one of their investor meetings that it's going to be before the end of March, in that, still in the fiscal year. And they want to show that they just have this one scene that's specifically crafted. I mean, Uncharted 2, they had the one time at E3. They had the burning building for Uncharted 3. I think they have one particular scene that they have carved out for this demo at E3. They show it big, and then as a reminder, Uncharted Collection, go do that. So I think that's how they start the show. I say yes.
Either that, or it's going to be some scene where he really gingerly goes to buy some coffee or something, keep him within a very strict path across the street.
No fuck-ups this time.
No, order the macchiato. It won't be safe otherwise, The espresso, he's become a cup, I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very successful franchise, and they pretty much need that to keep trucking along most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So we had 85.7% say there will be a demo, which is more than the collection. So very, very interesting. Now, Sam, did we brief you on the two predictions?
Yes.
Right.
So, I mean, I've got one that's very sane based off of evidence that I know. And then I've got one that, because pretty much everything's got a "please don't tell anyone" attached to it.
Right.
That I've had for all my email is just going to be completely off the wall. So the one that I feel is going to be almost certain is every reasonably well-known hardware manufacturer is going to be coming out of the woodwork with a VR, AR type headset. The one to keep your eye on will be Logitech.
Ooh.
I think they've got a headset to bring to E3.
A Logitech VR headset at E3. That's a good big boss.
That's what I'm thinking. Just from various different whisperings and murmurings that I've heard. I could be completely wrong. They'll probably be like, "This one is a 4K webcam." But I could be entirely wrong. But that's kind of feeling that I get. I think the only thing that I have seen so far with like the predictions and stuff that I've got, with the different bits and pieces that I've seen, the only thing that's really missing from E3 is just Peter Molyneux coming strolling out with something just completely off the wall, like, you know, a day in the life of a muffin, and purchases for extra ingredients. You know, if you want to see underneath the wrapping of the muffin, you've got to join in on a mobile game and tap it frantically in order to remove the wrapper.
What's in the wrapper?
That's going to be an additional purchase for the mobile game, of course. Yep. You know, that's a given. Available on all major consoles, and it will be the best game that you have ever played. Emotionally invested. There's going to be a set-out storyline about the emotions behind each individual ingredient of the muffin.
You'll be able to put a muffin in the oven and watch it bake in real time.
Yes, and that will be you inside the game. And you'll actually, you know, vaguely get the scent of blueberry from your controller. It's going to be amazing.
Now I gotta ask.
Show a drawing to the muffin, and the muffin will react to your drawing.
Yeah, I gotta say, is there Milo DLC in this thing?
Oh, well, you know, you can never be too sure with Molyneux. I mean, you know, he's capable of anything. You know, it could be cookies. You know, yeah, you may even get a flapjack. I mean, he's wild.
Holy shit!
Can somebody remind me why we hate Peter Molyneux again? Because I don't actually know.
Peter Molyneux's Day in the Life of a Muffin.
Constitutional rights no longer apply.
Peter Molyneux, seriously, that man is just a creature from another dimension. Like, he'll stroll out and just be like, "All right, so basically, we're bringing out a solitaire game, and it's going to be really, really good. Oh, but it's going to be the best thing in the world, and you're going to be able to explore entire new universes that the human mind can't encompass. And also, there's going to be glittering diamonds in every corner of the game." It's solitaire, Peter.
I just love that Peter Molyneux, every time he comes out, he's like trying to pedal, like he's trying so hard, and then all Miyamoto has to do is be like, "Yeah, I was sleeping one day and I came up with this. Here's a game."
And I wanted to be a robot.
I wanted to be a robot, so I made a game about being a robot.
Well, Squelmatza, Sam, thank you so much for joining us. Really do appreciate your insight. What's the one thing that you're looking forward to about being at E3?
One thing I'm looking forward to at E3. Oh, it's really difficult. I think, really, I don't know. I'm going to the Bethesda conference, and I think the Fallout 4, like, because they've already shown the trailer.
Yep.
And I'm not sure whether they plan to do that or whether because it got linked over LinkedIn that maybe they had to kind of show. I don't know. But like, I'm really hoping that we see something a bit more meaty of Fallout 4 rather than panned landscapes and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm kind of going to be on the edge of my seat for that one.
I think I've heard rumors that like they're looking to show like a half hour of it, and so I'm sure they're going to just go all out because all the indications are that it's coming this year.
Yeah. I'm like, I've seen sort of October time or something like that.
Yeah.
So
I want it so much. Looks so pretty.
Yeah, like I'm almost in tears watching the countdown as it finally got to 0 the other day. So yeah,
and then you had to go look it up on YouTube because it wasn't on Twitch.
Yeah, that was ridiculous, wasn't it? Like hit 0, and I'm like, yes, please. Just Google it; it'll be fine.
All right, man. Sam, have a great time. Travel safely, and look forward to having a great E3.
Yeah, lovely. It was lovely to have you here.
Yes, well, you know, you guys clearly have quite low standards.
Well, I mean, I'm on this show.
I don't know what to say, but no, it was great being on, and yeah, I look forward to catching this when it's all out and ready.
Great. All right, have a great one. Thanks.
Catch you later. Bye.
Bye.
All right, let's keep it rolling with Darkurai. How are you?
Tired.
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 It's been a long day. Got to rest up this week for E3 hype.
Yeah, I've been watching the Mario 602 speedrun race.
Ooh.
Which is a race through Super Mario 64 120, Super Mario Galaxy 120, Super Mario Sunshine 120, and Super Mario Galaxy 2 242.
Oh my goodness.
Darn.
It is a 24-hour run if you're good.
That's amazing. Very impressive. Well, let's get back to talking about Sony, though. Question here, will Gran Turismo 7 be revealed?
This one was kind of a coin flip for me. I think I literally flipped a coin for this one. I'm going to say probably. People, I did a quick Google search, and people are talking about it as though it's a given. So I'm assuming, sure. This is the one question I have no real insight in.
I am going to tell a story of how, at my place of work, we finally revealed that there's an SRT vehicle being developed as DLC for Gran Turismo 6. And it's something I'd known about for maybe a year and a half. And it's finally great to see it be announced and be involved in the reveal and all sorts of stuff. We even had Kazunori Yamauchi, the head of Polyphony Digital, come out with translators and everything to talk to the media about this car, because it's a big deal at basically the end of their Vision Gran Turismo sort of DLC cycle for GT6. And so it took a while to schedule and everything. And yeah, they brought automotive media, so I wasn't about to risk losing my job and ask game questions, because that's not my place. But I'm thinking kind of strange to be doing this at the end of the GT6 cycle. I mean, if it was tough to schedule a meeting here, you're probably making Gran Turismo 7. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if it had Project Morpheus support, because that just seems perfect for that kind of game. So I think it will be revealed, especially with the Project Morpheus stuff. It wouldn't surprise me at all if that announcement's coming.
I put no, because the only racing game I really tend to play at the moment is Mario Kart. So I don't really know much about other racing games. I don't know much about racing games, really. I'm not going to lie.
Back when the PS4 came out, they were pretty excited in Japan of how powerful the console was compared to the 3. And I believe Kazunori actually said yeah, no, I'm excited for the PS4 because it's going to make Gran Turismo 7 really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think it's slated to come out, he was hoping that it would come out in either 2015 or 2016.
Yeah, so this would be the time.
Yeah, no, I don't see any other reason.
Yeah. Now we had 43% of people say yes. So, yeah, it's getting close to that. It's that 50-50 point, maybe yes, maybe no. But more Sony studios are looking to reveal their PlayStation 4 game, because when Shuhei Yoshida was asked, yeah, every studio is working on a PS4 game. So will Guerrilla Games, Bend, or Media Molecule reveal their PlayStation 4 game?
So I said no for this one. Media Molecule especially no. They just had Little Big Planet. I don't think they're ready for something new.
See, they didn't make it, though. Sumo Digital was behind 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I think it's a small team behind Tearaway as well. So it wouldn't surprise me if the remaster for Tearaway is just a way to get Media Molecule more money.
Well, this is unfortunate then.
I don't think you're alone in that. I think you see Little Big Planet, you assume Media Molecule.
No, that's where I was too. I'm in the same boat.
Bend, if I remember correctly, they've just made Vita games so far, right?
Yeah, they were behind Uncharted Golden Abyss recently. Or recently, 3 years ago? But that was one of their last big games. And I think they've been working on their PS4 game ever since.
I think, if anything, they're most likely to announce something new.
Though, now, word is it's supposed to be, according to rumors, some sort of horror game. So that'd be interesting in conjunction with, Until Dawn that's still going to be coming out. So,
Bend I don't see as high profile enough to be a big E3 announcement. Guerrilla Games, their Killzone.
Yeah.
They were kind of a toss-up. I wasn't totally certain about them. Ultimately, I went with no. I think they're more of a bigger game developer, so I think it'll be another year or so before they have something. But that one was more of a toss-up. But now that I know that Media Molecule, in fact, did not make Little Big Planet 3, perhaps I made the wrong decision.
With Guerrilla Games, there's concept art that is out there, supposedly connected to them. And this was maybe a year or two ago that it leaked. But it has robot dinosaurs, and with a code name of Horizon.
Do they shoot lasers when they roar?
I don't think they do. But it looks pretty cool. It has a code name of Horizon, and I think it may be the year for it, but I could see it, taking another year, or it gets pushed to the France event, like the Paris show that Sony is doing, because they're skipping Gamescom this year because it's so soon after E3. Like E3's a week later, Gamescom's a week earlier this year, so they're moving to like a France event, and it wouldn't surprise me that for a European developer, we might see Guerrilla's game there. But I think it's Media Molecule and probably Bend this year for Sony. And Media Molecule, especially with Morpheus, I think like they might involve like Move and Morpheus and DualShock 4 and like different ways that you can play their game. I mean, because it's Little Big Planet 2 is the last one that the big Media Molecule team last worked on. That's a long time ago. So they probably got the tech first, and we saw them at the reveal event for PlayStation 4 with the puppeteer dancing sort of thing. So they've got something in the works. I think we see it.
I didn't recognize any of these studio names because I'm garbage. So I just don't.
Oh, wait, crap. I said yes. Ha ha!
Well, 76% of people who entered said yes. So we will see if one of those three get it done. Now, Level 5 is apparently confirmed to reveal a JRPG at Sony's conference, so they say, and a partnership with Sony for an exclusive PlayStation 4 game. The question is, will that game be revealed to be a new IP?
I said yeah. I don't believe Level 5 really messes with other people's franchises very much, and unless they plan on bringing Fantasy Life over to PlayStation, they don't really have anything under Sony. So I think this is going to be.
They have one game.
One game. Ni no Kuni?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be another Ni no Kuni. I don't think that's...
I do!
That's in the realm of possibility.
I think it's Ni no Kuni too.
That reaction. I do!
I don't see Ni no Kuni getting a sequel.
I
don't know. That seems like... I admittedly, I never played it, but it seems like a really self-contained game to me.
That just depends, because like Ghibli's going through a weird transitional period right now.
That's...
that does not know, Hayao Miyazaki recently retired, and the movie they just came out with over here is rumored to potentially be their last movie for a while.
Wow.
Again.
I mean, it's Ghibli, so we don't really know how that's going to actually go, but...
Literally every Ghibli movie for the past 10 years has been their last movie.
Yeah.
Miyazaki retired after like all of them.
Yep. That being said, Level 5 makes a surprising amount of shit, and they haven't made some of their stuff for a while. Like, I am surprised at how much they make, so for all we know, there could be some buried IP out there they haven't touched in years that they're bringing to PS4, which I personally think is a little more likely than Ni no Kuni 2, but I could definitely see logic behind Ni no Kuni 2. It is possible, I just don't think it's happening.
We're going to be seeing a sequel to Dark Cloud, their first game on PlayStation 2.
There's Rogue Galaxy as well.
Released in 2000.
I would love a new Dark Cloud. No BS. I think it'll be a new IP, because it seems like they come out with a new IP every couple of years. Like, they make a lot of different games. Sometimes it's just a one-off, but they make a lot. If not, I think it's Inazuma 11 for Wii U.
Ooh. And we get to hear about Layton 7 as well.
Inazuma 11 for Wii U at the Sony conference.
Yes.
Well, we had 29% of people say that, yes, it'll be a new IP, so maybe some more people hoping that it's Ni no Kuni 2. Now, will a sequel be announced during Sony's conference in which the last game in its series was released within the last 5 years?
Probably. Sony loves their IP. They're not like Nintendo, where they go like 10 years without an F-Zero game. If they have an IP that's going successfully, they tend to, have a good turnaround on it that doesn't last too long. So I don't necessarily know what that game is going to be, but I'm confident that we're going to see a sequel to a recent-ish game be announced.
Yeah, a lot of people are pretty confident, 81%, but I'm not so much. Though I could see a third party announcing a game with Sony's partnership help, like during PlayStation Expo with Street Fighter V, something like that. I mean, that would have definitely qualified. If Capcom says, hey, let's do another DMC game, that would count as within the last 5 years. I said no, though, because I think they have other games that are either going to be new IP or we know about them, and so it won't be anything new. I just took a stab and said no.
I just really put no because I don't really think that they will, really. No particular reason behind it. Just, I can't really back it up with anything.
Yeah, it's one of those tough questions.
I just don't see them doing it, really.
I said yes because I think it's very, very likely that if an IP sells well, Sony's not stupid. They're going to make it.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to see things like, Ratchet and Clank, but then again, that doesn't qualify as the last 5 years. So it'll be interesting to see their conference for sure. And the last question, will the phrase US dollars be mentioned?
No.
That is not a meme that works in their favor.
No, it's not. But it's a question we have to ask every year. The question is if Project Morpheus gets a price point, will it be said?
I say no to this question every year because in my heart I hope they'll learn.
I didn't think they did it last year.
They did not.
No.
I hope they keep learning.
I don't believe they've done it since PlayStation 3 because it's the kind of thing that bit them in the ass enough that there's no way in hell they'll do it by accident. Mm-hmm. And it's not like My Body Is Ready where they can do it on purpose.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, it's I put no as well, but can you imagine what would happen if they did?
Mm-hmm. Someone's getting fired if they do.
Yeah.
I put yes because USD is the proper term for our currency on a global spectrum. And they're business people. They understand.
That's actually pretty sound reasoning.
It's US dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
what the fuck are you bringing sound reason?
It's actually United States dollars, thank you.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So, Darkurai, your big boss and Kiefer predictions.
I didn't manage to come up with anything that was reasonable enough and still unreasonable enough to be a big boss prediction, unfortunately. It's not a very creative year for me as far as thinking of legitimate things. I think I have an alright Kiefer prediction.
Alright, let's hear it.
It's nothing terribly special, but I believe that we are going to see a Super Mario Sunshine sequel starring the Inklings.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's pretty Kiefer.
This office demands results. That's what I provide.
Splatoon used to be featuring Mario characters, if I'm not mistaken.
I think the original incarnation was actually with rabbits.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Why?
But I think we're going to see Super Mario Sunshine 2 featuring Mario facing off against the Inklings.
Gosh, I wonder if there were like DLC of Mario with a flood in Splatoon.
I saw a fake leak for that.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I wanted to believe, but it's not likely.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty interesting, though. Thank you for joining us, Darker. I really appreciate your time.
Of course.
Have a great E3.
To you as well.
Alrighty.
Love you.
Love you.
Show me your news.